Welcome back to RPG Pals Club. If you came here expecting the Battle of the Bands, we're still a bit off. We had November stuff come up.
November happens.
Not that November stuff.
Yeah, I think like a friend of mine likes to say this is the worst time of the year to run or plan games.
I mean, my birthday is next week / will have been like a week or two before this after this. My birthday's on the 21st of November. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, so anyways, we were not able to get everybody together for RPG Pals Club. So get ready for a rip-rollicking One Piece inspired adventure as we are doing a playtest of the Ocean's Dream RPG, a role-playing game that I started in quarantine and it's still in progress, but if Sahoni can run games on here that he developed, that's very good for Sahoni, and everyone should go and buy Exceptionals, not the Exceptionals, because that's what we named our adventure, even though that title is wrong.
Exception.
Listen, we have to differentiate just a little bit.
Yeah, Exceptionals tested better, with all the people that I tested. Just me with 2 cell phones in each hand and giant businesswoman shoulder pads.
Got to go get it, break the glass ceiling, fuck another woman's husband to show her your dominance. 80s business, eat a pound of cocaine, stab that homeless guy to prove you're alive.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But we're dealing with other unethical people. We're playing Ocean's Dream, which is a One Piece inspired game that I started working on after reading all of One Piece in quarantine back in like February. I've done a few playtests of it and it's been slowly evolving, but it was like, hey, let's do this. And so now we're going to do this. So drop the music here.
RPG Pals Club, and we're here to say we like tabletops in a major way. Today we got some pirates for you. We also make video game references too. There's lots of the jokes and I'm cutting some rhymes. I do this kind of stuff like all of the time. Luke, I hope you appreciate this bit, so otherwise it's gonna sound like some shit. Luke, go fuck yourself. I'm doing this. You don't pay me for this, so I'm not gonna rhyme that part.
I hope you like the steam whistle that Eric added in at the end.
And all the rapping I did.
Make notes.
Yes.
Still a better boat parade than some of the things I've seen this year.
So, we're going to quickly go over the characters. The idea here is that you can make essentially any character. They're going to normally be part of a boat crew, but we're sort of doing a session 0, so they don't have a boat yet.
We'll get a boat eventually.
So give a quick rundown on your character, Madison, what their powers are, and, a bit of the character stuff.
All right. Well, today on this pirate game, I'm going to be playing the Clocktopus. They are literally an octopus, they, them pronouns. They're an octopus in an old brass diving helmet. Their 8 tentacles kind of poke out, and that's how they move around. And aside from just literally being an octopus, they have time powers.
Like you do.
As octopuses do.
Yeah, didn't you know octopuses are from the future?
Exactly. They've come back from the future to warn us of our grave mistakes that we're probably gonna inflict upon the earth. Anyway, so specifically the Clocktopus has 3 kind of time-based powers on a bit of a 30-second limit of how long they can hold these abilities, being the ability to pause time for themselves, sort of like a big AoE sort of thing, reverse to be able to take something that is in motion and literally reverse its the whole shit. And fast forward, so he can throw things and fast forward it in the air and make it hit the other targets really, really hard. Yeah.
That is the way that it does. But as a person, what are they like? What are their dreams? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses?
So the Clocktopus's whole deal is that they came up from the bottom of the ocean to try and become the best fighter so that they could go back into the ocean, defeat the Kraken, and take his place.
That is such a good plot.
But you see, you're perpetuating the cycle then.
Exactly, because that's all they want. They want a bigger, stronger fight. They want to be defeated by a worthy opponent, and they want to defeat worthy opponents.
Well, and you know what else is a cycle? A clock.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
It's all circles, baby. Time is around.
No.
Tick-tock, motherfucker.
I'm playing a lot of Fuser recently that just came out, which is probably going to date this a little bit, but Clocks is one of the songs you can make. Anyway, I guess I'll go next. Anyway, I'm Eric, aka Rhythm Bastard, and I am playing Thrash, the self-appointed leader of this scurvy crew. He is a raccoon with a dope-ass pirate hat and an open pirate jacket, and he wears shredded track pants. His powers are Climby Claws, where he can climb any surface, and Booming Voice, where he can speak to people's souls and he can be heard from very far away.
It's very good.
Yeah.
The raccoon that can speak directly to your soul.
Yeah, I mean, that haven't you seen that
Powerful.
video that recently went viral? Again, dating this to hell, where like the raccoons just wanted that. That's why all the raccoons got the hot dogs, is because they spoke to that man's soul. They said, "Please give me your hot dogs."
Please gently hand out these hot dogs and we will not harm you. The hive mind of raccoons.
Thrash is all about the renown and the notoriety. You know, his claws are, he wants to be known for the sharpest claws. He wants to get on top of the tallest building and say, "Listen up, bitches, I have arrived." You know, he wants that renown.
So you might say their vice is pride,
Yes.
but what is their virtue?
Their virtue is just their sheer enthusiasm. They never give up as a typical shonen protagonist, and they never surrender. They just keep getting that fighting spirit, man.
And then, so their dream is just to be the biggest?
Yes.
What is your vice? What is your virtue? That's my Silent Hill salesman voice.
It's Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm a coward. I'm a coward. I played Eternal Darkness, and then when a bug went across the screen, and I just literally shuddered thinking about that. Also because it's now fall and it's getting cold in the basement. Yeah, I'm a coward, so what are you buying? What are you selling? What are you mixing up with other games? And then, Sony.
Yes, hi. I'm Sahoni, he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Gao Henly. Because I too also am like way too deep into One Piece. I'm somewhere, for reference, I'm somewhere in the middle of Whole Cake, for those of you in the know.
Wink wonk.
Yeah, wink wonk.
I am not.
Wait, Whole Cake is, well, I guess, what was the prequel, Partial Cake?
No.
You fool. It's all about marriage and Nazis.
Oh my God.
Who were comic characters, but then they're not?
Yeah, it's a giant metaphor for American imperialism. Thank you.
Oh.
Anyways, read One Piece. One Piece is good.
Gotta go. Dream it. Don't give it up, Luffy.
Don't watch the 4 Kids. Don't, honestly, the anime's okay, but you're gonna be having a better ride if you just read the manga, and it's a lot better pacing. But I'm playing Gao Henly, and since I know One Piece lore, I was really tempted just to put in a One Piece OC, and I did, and I put in a wolf mink, who he is a doctor. He is trained in medicine, in his mid-30s, who chain smokes and wears big round glasses and a doctor's coat, and is he has a bad habit of being accidentally spooky.
Hmm.
And I think like his virtue is that he's a very, very kind person. He's just spooky. His vice is I think depression. Vice is I saw you put
Who put it in that he had a big dick as a vice?
Well,
Oh my god.
he's not telling.
Wouldn't mind partaking a bit in that voice. No judge, wink, wink. Say no more. Say no more.
And I think his big dream is that he wants to. I haven't really thought about this outside of he wants to go back home. There is, but he's always been kind of too afraid to. I think.
No, that works perfectly fine. So, I've gotten all of this information. Now, one other important thing about the Ocean's Dream role-playing game is that, all of you get to give me a wish. I will see if I can incorporate it by inserting it into my big old, Ocean's Dream generator that I have.
Cool.
It's going to take all of the factors that you talked about, but you get a wish. So it could be something like, I want to fight a rhinoceros, or I want to eat a really big cake, or I want to flip a nun's dress over her head and then send her tumbling down a series of stairs.
That is oddly specific.
So, what does anyone have their wish right now?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
The Clocktopus's wish is to defeat a worthy opponent in Mortal Kombat.
Is that the game Mortal Kombat or actual Mortal Kombat?
Actual Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I spelled it as
The game.
video game.
video game?
Capitalized it.
No, leave it.
Sorry, I fixed it already.
No.
Who else has their dream?
I want to find cool metal tonfas.
And when you say cool metal, does that mean they are cold or just neat looking?
Or no, I just mean they're really rad.
Radical.
Yeah.
They deal radiation damage?
No.
Yes.
No, I mean they look really snazzy.
The aesthetic is off the charts.
Yes, it's very aesthetic and kind of builds into his whole deal.
All right. And Eric, do you have your wish?
My wish is to climb atop a really tall building and then kick the guy that owns it off the top of it, falling to his doom in a scene not unlike the movie Die Hard.
Hans Gruber didn't own the building, you plebeian, and he was kicked out of a window.
Oh, how the tables have turned!
Incredible.
All right, well, I'm going to enter this into the machine.
It's being entered.
Ooh, bop, bop, ba-doo, wop,
Now I'm
biddy, bop,
thinking,
ba-doo,
what
wop.
would it be like if Silent
ba-doo.
Hill had like a merchant character or just something, so like a person you buy items from? And I thought that would be the dumbest decision ever.
It really would. I hope they just like make one of the pterodactyls.
Yeah, no, just like a pterodactyl with like, no, so like the merchant in Resident Evil 4 had like a stereotypical pirate voice. The pterodactyl merchant in Silent Hill, like I guess they're up to what, fucking 9 now? He will have a stereotypical ninja voice.
Okay.
He'll be like, oh, what are you buying? Oh, what are you selling?
Pew pew. What is that?
That's the radio going off because we're in Silent Hill.
All right, so that was the machine. It has run through the rubber chicken phase and the apparently it's dead Halloween prop with sound effects chainsaw.
These are all
A vital part of any dream machine.
It sounds like somebody going chomp, 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 chomp.
Yeah.
It sounds like Tim Allen's weird nightmare brother from Silent Hill.
Silent Hill represents toxic masculinity.
Down.
There's just a drill with some sexy lady legs.
Yeah!
We're back on our stuff, baby.
I've infected you!
You see them as monsters, Tim? They're just peeking up over the fence.
And then like, the guy steps out from behind the fence and he has no face.
All right, this has been our Mambo number 5 meets Home Improvement sound effects mashup.
If they survived whatever, like, my first couple takes of rapping to the RPG Pals Club theme is, then they can survive through this.
Okay.
We are pirates and we're on the sea, and that's the place that we want to be. There is an octopus and a raccoon and a doctor and also Ed Boon, the guy who did some voices for the Mortal Kombat series. But if Eric has edited this into the beginning, that reference does not make sense.
Put it at the end of the show. Bonus content.
No.
Yeah, I'd probably like put some more urban on it, my urban flavor TM on it.
I guess.
Bonus content songs.
So when I'm editing this, I won't get busy. I'll get busy.
All right. So the machine has taken the adventure. You are all on Meat Island. That's M-E-A-T, not M-E-E-T, which is a island in the vast Paradise Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And all of you have sort of ended up here mostly on accident.
Mm-hmm. It sounds about right.
That sounds about right.
The good news is, this Meat Island is one of those places where maybe 9 months out of the year, it's really dangerous for boats to get in here, and most of them don't even stop. But then for those 3 months, there is a bunch of trade, because Meat Island has a very important resource. Who knows what that resource is?
Plastic.
Meat.
Strangely enough, it's creamed corn.
Frozen orange juice concentrate.
I appreciate all of the references to old lady fucks the teen guy to Simon and Garfunkel, and Eddie Murphy swaps class positions.
Welcome to America?
No.
Wait,
Trading places?
Trading places.
Okay.
We're recording at night. The machine may have come up with this adventure full cloth, but
We got them night goofies, baby.
yeah, we got them night goofies. Ooh, gosh.
All right.
I like a fork, Max. Is that a good goofy?
No.
You sound less like Goofy and more of a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic. And it's very upsetting.
I put the holes in the cheese.
I manually put them in. Cheese don't come with holes, you know.
Gross.
It's just like the sheriff dog saying that.
All right, so Meat Island, for 3 months a year, has a big shipment of naturally forming diamond corn.
Oh.
Diamond corn?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And so the diamond corn comes up, and it's essentially a cob of corn, but diamonds grow on it. No one knows why. It doesn't grow anywhere else. They've tried replanting it, but something about this island is very special. And so what happens is a lot of people come here and they're like, I'm going to try and steal some diamond corn. And a lot of the diamond corn farmers on here are just super protective of their crop because it's how they're going to make their living. It's what brings people to the island, and they don't want any randos, so they hire a lot of security. And basically, to get off the island, you would need to go in, sneak diamond corn without anyone finding it, hide it for like the 3 months that it takes where diamond corn has been harvested, but none of the ships have come, and then get it off the island, and then find a seller who's going to risk alienating the diamond corn farmers. So it's all very controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Controlled substance that diamond corn is.
But also because the waters around here are so dangerous, there's a lot of shipwrecks. So either you got here because maybe you're shipwrecked, or you grew up here, or maybe you came in on a trade boat and was like, I'll try and find some work, but it's just not what you want to do. So why are you here, Clocktopus? Or how are you here? Either way.
I feel like at some point in my journey to get to the shore itself, I probably attempted to climb up on somebody's ship, and long story short, that ship didn't make it to port real well.
Oh no.
It's okay, I literally didn't know anybody on board. But now I'm kind of stuck here, trying to figure out some better compatriots to begin my proper journey to getting real strong and real buff to fight the Kraken with.
Mm-hmm. So what have you been doing to sort of survive on the island in the meantime until the next boat comes?
Honestly, probably just picking fights. Picking fights.
Fair.
Maybe hired as one of the Korn guards.
Okay. But yeah, now that like all of it has been harvested and it's in the diamond corn silos, there's not as much work, but you have enough pay to get you through.
Yeah,
Because if
exactly.
they didn't pay you enough, then people just turn to crime probably.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you've been hanging out in the bars, getting into bar fights for some extra money, and you've got a reputation.
Hell yeah.
What about you, Thrash?
So, Thrash, his old crew decided to fuck him over and make him walk the plank. However, because of his grippy claws, everybody thought he died, so he was just grabbing onto the edge of the boat for, however long it got there, and they just happened to stop on that island. So, mostly through, just a lot of subterfuge, he kind of scumbagged his way on the island, or towards some safe harbor.
Yeah, and you've been here for probably about a year now, if that's how you got here.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Gao Henly.
Yeah, Gao's here because, this is an island that you can only really get to about 1/3 of the year, or 1/4 of the year. So this is something, they need doctors to be able to come in during those times.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, Gao very much took advantage of this. He was he came in as kind of as a doctor to kind of help treat people and bring in supplies now that there's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And so, like I said, the busy season is over, and it's a lot of waiting. People are getting bored. And would Thrash and Gao also be hanging out in the bar?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, in between, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the bar is called Blaze Tavern. It's one of those places where they frequently remodel it, especially after the quiet season is done. Because it's you have the shipping season when boats are coming in and out, and because it's got dangerous waters around it already, maybe only 1 or 2 boats can come in during a week safely and land and everything. And so, until shipping season starts, you're bored. That's maybe in a few months. And so as you're chilling in here, one of the guys who whose name is Kodal, comes into the bar, and Kodal is like, all right, guys, I have an opportunity. Who wants to make more money than they'll ever need in their life?
I think Gao's gonna kind of perk his head up at that, even though he's still pretty slouched up from where he is. I would say a cigarette in hand, but it's probably been censored into a lollipop. Which, that it's fitting enough. He's a doctor. He probably carries tons of those, like, dum-dums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Kodal, for those of you playing at home, is a meerkat person.
Oh.
Ooh.
What's their last name?
Why?
I don't know. Just wondering.
I'm wondering if we have to talk to Ed Boon.
Their name is Kodal Leatherface.
Perfect pirate name.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man, don't fuck with this guy.
And most of the other people aren't really interested because it's like, you have a good thing here.
Yeah.
Probably in like a decade, you can retire anywhere else and have a really good life.
Mm-hmm.
And they purposefully know that it's important to not like screw over the workers or cheat anybody. So
I feel like as this sort of announcement is happening, the Clocktopus is like finishing up pouring like a big nice cold glass of water into their helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of,
Yeah.
puts down their cup and is just like, what kind of opportunity are we talking about here?
How about more money than you'd make in 10 years here?
I don't care about money. Is it dangerous? Is it thrilling?
Yes, it's incredibly dangerous and thrilling.
Let's talk some details potentially.
Anybody else?
I think Gao is going to raise his hand at that. Might as well. Nothing else to do on this island.
Thrash is interested, but for the time being, he's going to kind of try to eavesdrop on them, unless they go to like a different spot. Then so he's going to try to eavesdrop on them.
Kodal has taken Clocktopus and Gao out of the bar to have this conversation.
Yeah, I think like Gao's secret motivation is he needs funds to try to return home.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably means a ship, and ships cost money.
Yeah,
Sure
I
do.
I think we're all on the let's get enough money to earn a ship, thing here. But but I think all right. So if he sees them walking, so he's gonna try to sneak out the back door and try to eavesdrop on them.
Okay, if you would like to sneak, we'll make our first check here. So it's just going to be a physique roll, so roll me 2d6.
2Ds.
And let me know what you get
Okay.
total.
I got a 5 total.
Kodal sees you sneaking behind him, and he's like, do you want in or do you not? Don't have time for half-assing it.
I like the cut of your jib, sir. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
All right. So he leads you off to a point that you all know as Knife Ridge, which is a ridge that someone just buried a knife in here years ago. But it's a beautiful scenic view of the ocean, and behind you is the town, and you can't really have people sneaking up easily on you listening to the conversation, especially because of the wind that like rushes by this ridge. He's like, all right, so diamond corn only grows here, right?
Yeah, obviously. We've been protecting it for how long now?
Yeah.
Attempts to count on all my tentacles. Way too long.
It's been a generational thing for far too long. The same families are in charge, and I don't like the way this power goes. What I have here is a special hybrid I've been growing that if I can get it off this island, will allow us to grow diamond corn anywhere. What I need is for you to help me get it onto a ship in secret, which may mean taking a ship ourselves, and then once we can get back to the mainland, or one of the mainlands, whichever the ship is going to, or whichever way we take the ship, then we're going to be rich for years, rich for decades. Our children's children won't need to work. We'll become heroes of the frickin' world. How does that sound?
So you want to steal a ship to get your hybrid corn off the island?
We only gotta steal a ship if we can't get on legally speaking. So I need you to either secure me passage on a ship where people aren't going to be asking too many questions, and where all 4 of us can travel together with some level of privacy, or to steal a ship. It's up to you.
I don't know. Stealing a ship seems like awful lot of trouble.
A lot of adventure.
And we get to disrupt rich and powerful people in the process. That's kind of like kicking them off a tall building, only it's a metaphorical tall building.
You want to kick somebody off a tall building?
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
What a highly specific thing.
Incredibly specific, but I'm into it. It's cool.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, we have probably 3 days until people notice that I'm acting shiftier than normal. So, find me a ship in that time. We can get out of here and I can make you richer than you would ever imagine.
Alright, yeah, sure, why not? Deal. Stick out like 3 tentacles to shake on it.
He shakes it with his thin, nubby, meerkat person hand.
Thrash whips out his hands, making very sure to bare his very, very sharp claws.
Kodo shakes it.
Okay. Thrash squeezes it just tight enough to put a little bit of pressure on.
He squints his eyes at you and nods, as if, I understand what you're about, mate.
Okay.
I think Gao has appeared behind this man and just pats him on his back and says, I'll get you your ship. Just make sure that you follow through on your end of the bargain.
Easy as done.
Creepy, that one.
And so, how do you want to proceed?
I guess we can start by scoping out the harbor where a lot of ships are there, you know. See, kind of get a lay of the land. It's like, who's the best target to either get on or steal from?
Mm-hmm. All right, so you are going to be looking up information in this scenario. So would one of you like to roll me a brains-related check? If you're going to be learning, let me know if you have something that you think is relevant. I don't believe any of you do, so...
No.
Whoever has the most brains...
I got 2.
I also have 2.
I have 1.
Together we are... No thoughts, no... Should we all just roll to attempt to find something?
I rolled a 9 on the dice. I do not know if I add anything to that.
Nope, it's just going to be a 9, but that 9 works enough to find you the basic information. So, like, talking around the docks, you find out that, yeah, there's 2 current ships in here. There is the Snow Kisser, and then there is the Annihilation of Doom.
Oh.
What a rush.
And if you want to ask me with that 9, I can answer you one question about either ship.
Okay. Please, is the Annihilation of Doom very frilly and pretty and pink?
Obviously.
Obviously, of course.
I think, like, as you go to the dock and you're looking, you just see it, like, metal ass font red letters printed on this, like, very pastel pink and frilly ship. Annihilation of Doom.
Is it, please, I hope that's in Comic Sans.
No, it's in one of those, like, specialty, we wanted to make a font like this specialty font that's, like, on a metal album cover or whatever.
So incredibly hard to read.
Exactly. It's like, why is it bleeding? Who was that for?
The Idle Metal Pirates.
And yeah, so it's pretty frilly and pink, but do you want to ask like an actual question?
I do actually want to ask a question. What sort of security are we looking at this on the docks itself?
So for specifically this ship or in general?
Just in general, like, are we what sort of security are we looking at here?
So, like, you've lived here long enough, and you've been around for a few, like, shipping seasons to know that, like, right now it's not super busy. These ships here are kind of, like, waiting to get going. Like, they are going to be stuck here for a few months, and you actually have not asked how, Kodo Leatherface plans to get out of here with a ship, but beyond, like, maybe 2 people who are always doing security shifts at the docks at all times who aren't really on high alert because if you steal a ship, where the hell are you going to go?
The ocean?
The ocean, but there's the dangerous tides that would destroy a ship.
Exactly.
If you steal a ship, you don't really have a place to go, and they'll probably stop you soon enough. There's not really anyone else here, and probably each ship maybe has one crewmate who always is just on to prevent anyone who's dumb enough to try and steal from a ship.
Mm-hmm.
What ship is the bigger ship?
So they're both kind of like medium-sized ships. They're not like war frigates, but they each have a crew, or they each have the support for maybe like 20 people.
Okay.
I also get a question.
Oh, yeah.
What do the crews look like on the two ships? Like, is one, perhaps particularly buff, or...
So, I mean, there's a reasonably large population on the island, and they've been here for long enough that you don't know necessarily who's on the crew. But, I mean, if you're all dealing with Diamond Korn, or you hear as hired muscle, or for other things, it's something that you don't have a good answer for. If you tried to, like, seek out members of the crew, you could probably dig into that a bit more.
Mm-hmm. So after I find out my things, I pop out. I like slowly rise from the shadows behind one of them and go, "Hello."
He's like fisticuffs ready to punch, and oh god, it's him again.
And I tell them kind of what I've learned. And also, I guess, like, I'm probably gonna bring up the fact that, like, we have no way of knowing how he wants to, like, escape the island. Like, how is he planning to get a ship out of here? If anyone could do that, they would.
I mean, I assume he was gonna try and wait until the tides quit being so vicious.
Yeah, but then he was like, I need it in 3 days.
He did say that, didn't he?
Yeah.
What's happening in 3 days?
Because he's gonna be, or maybe this guy can just fucking cool it for like a few months, and then it'll be a more opportune time for us to steal the ship.
I think there's something more to this that we don't know.
Is anything in particular happening in 3 days? There's no like notable festival or anything happening?
No, he just said that probably in 3 days, the people who he normally lives with and around are going to be suspicious of how much more suspicious he's acting.
Ah, okay.
Would we happen to know anybody Kodal Leatherface associates with?
Would you?
Would we?
Well, I'm assuming we're regulars at the tavern as well, so we kind of like see what kind of guys, he hangs out with, or what they, who they hang out with, who they regularly associate with. Maybe like they mentioned where they work at some point in time.
Yeah. So you can go and you hang out in the bars enough, and you notice that, and you specifically remember that there was one person who's like really like, oh my god, don't talk and ask people about your crazy scheme in the bar.
Okay.
Like the entire time.
Okay. I mean, maybe that's like our next lead then. We can try to run pacifist mode on this for now.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
Information gathering. Decide who we get to punch first.
Exactly.
All right. So, you know that there is a snow-colored kangaroo whose name is Smoke.
Okay.
And Smoke is just like, oh, can I help you with anything?
Yeah. Kodal started talking to us about a job, and he said we'd meet up. He said he'd talk to us later about it for the details. Would you happen to know anything about that?
Kodal's job? Kodal doesn't strike me as a person who I would want to follow unless I had a death wish. He talks a big game, but I rarely see him playing, if you understand what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I see him from time to time, and I was just wondering, I always hear him talking about his schemes, and I'm going to use like my, no, booming voice wouldn't work in this scenario, but I'm still going to be, try to lay the sweet talk on and be like, listen, he ever tell you any of those schemes, or like, you aware how any of those other schemes worked out of his?
I will let you roll a soul check
Okay.
for this. I think it's close enough that you can get a focus bonus for this, so it's going to be 4d6.
Right, 4d6. So 1, and then 1 more d6 plus 4. So that's a 14 total.
Okay. He arrived here a few seasons back and was just talking about how he could totally revolutionize the entire diamond corn and find ways to transport it year round, and I don't think it's quite possible, and he pays extra for a very private room back at the farm.
Which farm?
Baraka Farm.
Okay. Baraka Farm. Got it. All right, listen, listen, if it's as good as he says, clearly we want a sample, right? And I say to Gao and Clocktopus.
Yeah, I kind of do the old punch in the hand thing, but it's tentacle to tentacle,
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of like half-heartedly shrug, lollipop, bringing lollipop to mouth.
Okay. Very tired lollipop energy you're radiating right now.
Very. That sounds about right.
Yeah. So I give Smoke a little pat on the back and I say, "Hey, thanks, man. Listen, we were thinking of acquiring a boat when the dry season comes and we can get off the island. So if you're looking for some adventure, give me a call. Give us, get in touch." And I give him a nice little squeeze on the shoulder. Again, just digging my claws in him a little bit.
What the hell are you doing?
Well, listen, I'm just saying, should all of this work out, we're getting a crew together when the dry season comes.
It feels like you're trying to threaten me, though. I mean, with that claw grab, it's very weird. You're a very weird person.
As long as you remember me. And then I take my hand off, give him a proper pat on the back, and then walk backwards away, motioning my compatriots to come with me.
Literally just sit there for a moment watching him do this and just be like, follow after.
I apologize for him before I leave.
It's not awkward if you play it off.
Just very much just sorry. Just very politely.
What is it? Can you not control those things on your small tentacles on your hands?
And I take it we're walking to Baraka Farm while all this is taking place, and it's like, listen, this is a rough island, and there are a lot of deals that go on here, and these claws of mine, and I whip them out dramatically, can get me pretty far when you're making deals. And then I put my hands back in my jacket pocket and keep walking.
Mm-hmm. So all of you have been here long enough that you know that there are 5 main farms on the island. There's Baraka Farm, Scorpion Farm, Nightwolf Farm, Tanya Farm, and Malek Farm.
Everyone's favorite, Malek.
Malek Farms, baby.
And Baraka Farm is one of the newer ones, though new really isn't new. I think 300 years or so ago, there was a fight between some of the Scorpion family, and so some of them stayed with Scorpion, and some of them were like, we're going to take our part of the land and open up Baraka Farm.
Family division.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's slightly smaller as a result, but I mean, they do enough business. It's like, oh, you're the smallest casino in Las Vegas, but you're still making stupid money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. They're still, growing fucking diamond corn.
Mm-hmm. And so out of curiosity, I know we said that Clocktopus was a former guard, and then Thrash has been working here, and Gao, which of the farms did you work at?
I don't think he worked in the farm. I think he worked in town. It was just kind of
general doctoring.
Yeah, it was general doctoring where he kind of went around with whoever to kind of see whoever got sick or had some kind of long-term illness that they needed treated between seasons.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And I mean, it's also one of those things where you have like some medical staff, but if things get worse or you need like actual medical care.
Yes, exactly. You know, and then he would probably like appear at their house, a shadow outside the window.
Like a nightmarish Dr. Heroluck.
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, glasses shining so you can't read his face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
well, what about Clocktopus and Thrash?
I feel like Clocktopus has been here just long enough to have like kind of, you know, done his time at one, been finished with that, got into some fights, some stuff in town, like hooked up with another farm.
So you've just sort of worked with all the farms at some point?
Yeah, more or less. Kind of definitely a farm-based drifter. Whoever will pay the most at the time.
Yeah, and I mean, there is some competition for, like, getting people, especially if they're good. Wow, you do have a reputation.
Just a bit of
8
one.
arms.
Yeah, 8 arms. Great for grabbing and great for garden.
Yeah, great for shucking them corn ears.
8 legs, 6 vaginas.
Imagine.
And what about Thrash?
I think Thrash is making his living by helping, just like working as grunt for like the deckhands going in and out, since, you know, he's better able to talk to people, maybe working in the tavern from time to time as a bartender, because, you know, he's got that booming voice to talk to people. So, you know, maybe working there during the not so hot seasons.
Fair enough. Okay, so you have not actually directly worked for any of the farms.
Yes.
All right. I love to be like, here, have opportunities to sneak into Baraka Farm or be trusted members here. Oh, okay.
Just slap it out of your hand. Like, no, I don't want that.
Hard mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't want
So you all get up, so you all walk up, and I think Clocktopus will just say that you worked at Baraka Farms for this season.
Okay, so this
that
was
makes
my last place of employment before I went back to fighting people in the bar for money.
A gift. And guarding the gate is Jax, who is a dark olive green goat. A dark olive green goat.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, goat's cool. It's not like you were trying to avoid any, I don't know, you know, certain implications by, you know, making someone a gorilla.
Careful with those random generators there.
Yeah, you know?
Random dangerous generators. You might hit one and it just explode.
Yeah, so, you know, Jade, the dark olive green goat, greets you and's like, so, who are your friends?
This is Claw Guy and this is Spooky Wolf.
All right, I don't really care.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Yeah, I mean, you guys aren't going to do any crimes, so yeah, go on ahead.
All right, yeah, cool.
Don't start too many fights.
Oh, you know, we just gotta talk to one.
It's fine.
I kind of wave in my 2 compatriots.
Of course.
And so there's like the standard housing, there's the long-term housing, and you know that Kodal probably lives in the long-term housing, and easily enough you find your way there, and Kodal's room has a sign that says Kodal's room, do not enter.
I just kind of bang on the door.
Oh shit!
Fully work.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was too much or not, but
While
Beautiful.
they're doing this, I'm a very stealthy person by nature. That's why I keep startling people completely by accident. I think I'm being perfectly normal within social mores and boundaries. But since I do, I want to kind of like slide off and see what I can investigate on my own. See if there's anything kind of suspicious going on, anything worth note.
All right, so we will let you go off and do that. So you wanted to go be a sneaky.
Yeah,
Sneaky
I want to infiltrate.
All right, now I think you got rid of the infiltration focus ability.
Yeah, I didn't make it a power, but I thought like it would be a good, you said that there would be another way of doing that, so.
So what you're going to do is make a brains roll, and because it falls into the category of a focus, because you're trying to learn information, it's going to be 3d6.
Okay. I rolled an 11.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, what specifically are you looking for here?
I guess I'm trying to figure out if there's something special about this corn hybrid that I've been hearing so much about, that this whole thing is about.
So how do you want to go about looking for this? Because Kodal, it's like, from what you gathered, it's Kodal's secret blend that he's been working on.
Of course. So I think so it's not part of the Baraka farm, correct?
Correct. He's working here on Baraka Farm, but it is not something they would probably approve of.
Okay. I guess I want to see if there's like land or equipment that seems off or missing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a good place to start.
Okay. So you go and check out the equipment areas, and as far as you're able to tell, because you don't necessarily work in the fields or have as much direct knowledge about it.
Oh, absolutely not.
Everything seems to be fine.
Yeah, all I know is what I've gathered and kind of from being in proximity and treating a lot of these people and hearing with them talk about things.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most I've really kind of interacted with the Korn myself. I guess is there some sort of almanac or logbook that someone's been keeping that might be good?
Yeah. What are you looking for in that logbook?
I guess I want to see recent entries, because this has to be something new. I want to see if there's something that they think is off or different.
With the current diamond corn?
Yeah, just something worth remarking upon, I guess.
Not really. It seems like it's been a normal harvest this year.
Uh-huh. Is there any talk about troubles on the farm in general?
No, I mean, it's a smooth running operation.
Got it.
For all intents and purposes.
Okay.
So we cut back to the door, and you have knocked heavily. You have not noticed that your doctor friend has vanished.
It's absolutely disappeared from behind you.
It's simply gone like a shadow. We're sitting there like, Kodal, we got some ship to talk about.
And as you're waiting, the door doesn't open. Do you knock again?
Yeah.
The door swings slowly open, and in front of you, with a knife in his back, is the dead form of Kodal.
Oh. Well, guess we don't have ship to talk about anymore.
And that is where we end this week's episode of RPG Pals Club.
I'm Gina Dazer. You can find me on Twitter at Adazer, Adaser, or on patreon.com/Gene Adazer, JEAN_ADASER.
Hello there, I've been Eric, aka Rhythm Bastard. You can find me at my website, rhythmbastard.rocks. You can find me on Patreon at patreon.com/rhythmbastard, where I release new music every month. And you can also buy merch and music on Bandcamp at rhythmbastard.bandcamp.com.
And I've been Gar Atkins. You can catch me on Twitter at Sahoni_stuff. That's SAHONI_stuff, where I work as a podcaster and game designer. You can catch me on my other podcast, Barking Points Memo, which is a weekly current events podcast where we laugh or yell about the news. You can also check out my Twitter for info on streams, because I just finished editing Exceptionals. So the next big step is a lot of art, and I would love the company as I do just a lot of painting and page layout.
Hi, my name's Madison Rowan. You can also hear me over on the Established Property podcast, a Pokemon tabletop game, and Let's Make Something, a podcast about making stories from randomly generated words. Everything I do is linked over on my Twitter, at QuipsterRikuru. Rikuru spelled Rikuru.
Hi, I'm Sam. You can find me on Twitter at Frunding_Loom. You can also hear me on the Established Property Playhouse, a new series with our Game Master Luke where we're playing an all-ages Pokemon adventure. You can find that on Twitter at ESTProPlayhouse.
Hello, I'm Luke, your Game Master. You can find more of what I do online on Twitter at Koltreg, that's Koltreg. Wildly, I have actually updated my website at lukeherr, LUKEHERR.com, where you can find comics, links to all of the podcasts that I do, including the more recent Nicolas Cage podcast, The Unbearable Weight of Nicolas Cage, the Luke Herr Podcast Project, and Established Property Playhouse, the new Pokemon 5e actual play that I'm running with Sam and Madison, and also Janine from a lot of other very good podcasts. RPG Pals is a twice-a-monthly podcast. If you enjoy the podcast, please leave us a review and rating on Twitter, iTunes, whatever. Just tell us that you enjoy the thing. Honestly, getting those real interactions is a good inspiration. It lets us know that this show matters to you. If you'd like to support us on the show, you can check out our Patreon at RPG Pals Club, and that will help us to do things like compensate Eric for the editing work that he does, because he works really hard on this. That's it. We'll see you in probably 2 more weeks on the 1st or the 15th of the month. Until then, catch you on the flip mode.